du meine Arbeit für richtig hältst, ob du glaubst, dass ich fleißig gewesen bin, dass ich gearbeitet habe, dass ich mich in diesen Jahren für dich eingesetzt habe, dass ich anständig meine Zeit verwendet habe im Dienste meines Volkes. Gib du jetzt deine Stimme ab. Wenn ja, dann tritt für mich ein, so wie ich für dich eingetreten bin.
The escape of Adolf Hitler. A theory that won't die for decades, the official story has been clear. Adolf Hitler, the dictator responsible for World War II and the Holocaust, died by suicide in his Berlin bunker on April 30th, 1945. His body was supposedly burned and only fragments were ever recovered. Soviet forces quickly took over the site and presented their own version of events. But what if that story isn't the whole truth? Welcome to the controversial and enduring theory that Adolf Hitler didn't die in 1945, but escaped. Let's dive in. The escape theory suggests that in the final days of the war, Hitler was secretly flown out of Berlin, possibly to Spain, and then to Argentina, where he lived for many years under an assumed identity. But how could such a thing be possible? Wouldn't the Allies have caught him? According to some researchers, the chaos of Berlin in late April 1945 made it the perfect cover for a high-level escape. Hitler had access to advanced aircraft, loyal pilots, and a network of Nazi sympathizers across Europe and South America. Argentina, in particular, had a history of welcoming fleeing Nazis. Men like Adolf Eichmann and Josef Mengele successfully hid there for years after the war. Some claim that the U-boat routes across the Atlantic were still active at the time. Submarines could have carried high-ranking Nazis, gold, and even Hitler himself to the shores of South America. Eyewitnesses in Argentina have claimed for decades that they saw a man who looked like Hitler living in rural estates, protected by ex-SS officers. In 1945, the Soviets were the first to enter the bunker. They controlled the narrative of Hitler's death, and according to declassified FBI documents, even American intelligence had doubts. These files include reports from people who allegedly saw Hitler in Colombia and Argentina well after the war. In fact, one declassified FBI memo from 1947 states, "There is a possibility that Hitler is alive." And what about the body? The supposed remains of Hitler, recovered by the Soviets, were never conclusively proven to be his. In 2009, a skull fragment long believed to be Hitler's was DNA tested, and it turned out to belong to a woman under 40. So what really happened in those last moments in the bunker? Did Hitler take his own life, or did he vanish into the shadows of post-war chaos? While the mainstream historical consensus still supports his suicide, the escape theory refuses to go away. Books, documentaries, and even government files suggest that we may never know the full truth. After all, sometimes the biggest cover-ups are hidden in plain sight.